Hello everyone, this is Dwight Woods, the Jeet Kune Rebel, and welcome to the video sessions for the, we did I Love Jeet Kune broadcasts. I think we did about 10 episodes, and these were entitled Jeet Kune and its associated disciplines. So I had promised that we would do a video version of the broadcast, and that's what we're going to get started with today. Off the top of my head, we will end up talking about Pentjak Silat, we'll talk about boxing, we'll talk Western boxing, we'll talk about Muay Thai, we'll talk about Boxe Française Savate, we'll talk about Wing Chun, we'll talk about grappling, and then ultimately we'll probably do more than one session for Filipino Kali, because as you guys know that with some of us in the Inasano lineage, the Filipino Kali plays an extremely important role. So usually when we talk about Kali, we have to do more than one thing, right? So welcome to the I Love Jeet Kune broadcast video version of Jeet Kune and its associated disciplines. Okay, so let's take a look at Indonesian Pentjak Silat. So some people are aware that Dan Inasano ended up doing a thing called Mathilindo Silat, right? And the MA is from Malaysian Bersilat, the PHIL is from Filipino Kuntao Silat, and then the Indo is from Indonesian Pentjak Silat. So I think it's safe to say his major influences in Indonesian Silat came from the Torres family, and then also from the Suwanda family. So I'm just going to show you just extracts of these things, because we're looking at principles here. So one important principle in Pentjak Silat, in the Bukti Negara that I spent a little bit of time studying, was the idea or the principle or the concept of constant forward pressure. And that was first, one way that it was relayed to us was the idea that in your setup, you used a body position that in itself was already somewhat inclined forward. Not in an off-balance way, but definitely with a lowered center of gravity, a lowered elevation as we would call it in Kali, and then an angulation of the upper body. So it's very similar to other things that we do, but it did have its own, let's call it specific influence, right? So I'll get Glenn to help me with this, and I'll show you an idea of how to understand the concept of constant forward pressure. Okay, so the way I remember it, we were in Janesville, Wisconsin at a Pete Hetrick's seminar, and Sifu Dan said something like, the Wing Chun trapping, this is how I remember it, the Wing Chun trapping kind of like goes like this, right? So let me show you with Glenn what we're talking about here. So you know how in the Wing Chun, a lot of times we do this this reference point trapping thing, right? And then you kind of go like this, and your partner does whatever, right? So the way I remember it, what Sifu Nasano was saying is that kind of entry, that kind of like Wing Chun entry, that's not the Silat method. Because remember what I told you about the constant forward pressure, see? So the idea would be, right, so he'll back up when I do this, but the idea is that when I move in, this is where I'm going. So it's a whole lot more aggressive, you could say, right? And then the thing about Pentjak Silat is this, see? So when I move here, even if he moves back, because it is Pukulan Pentjak Silat, I'm still gonna be trying to hit him and overrunning him while I do the off-balancing stuff. You see? So if we look at that as like, let's say specific technique, right? So I'll go like Wing Chun Pak Sao, right, and back fist, but then I'll go for like the Sapu Dalam off the lead leg. So when I hit like this, see, and then I hit him and I go Sapu Dalam. And one of the cool things about Pentjak Silat is that in the midst of the trapping is the hitting and the off-balancing, but then also, see, so this is what I mean. So let's say this hit didn't work, right? Okay, that one will work, and that one will work. And if you look at this, now he's off balance. Now that makes it a little bit easier for me to do the foot sweep. But if we did like this kind of, you know, Wing Chun trapping thing, it's good up to a point, but there's a different flavor to it. So there is the constant forward pressure. There is also something in common with the Wing Chun and the Pentjak Silat would be the idea of stickiness, right? So this is going to be a little bit difficult to show because we don't have huge camera angles, but it's kind of like this, right? So Glenn punches at me, and I just go like this, and then he keeps punching, right? And as he steps forward, see? So this is an idea. He keeps punching, see? And as he goes, I learn to stick to him even while I'm moving backwards. We talked about constant forward pressure. So it's kind of oxymoronic for me to be sticking to him while I'm moving backward. But if you watch what my body does, when I move backwards, see? Right? So yeah, you could go ahead and step through there, right? This is not going to be like classic perfection in Pentjak Silat training or what have you, right? But this is just for you to get the idea. So we start with the same reference point. He steps through, see? And I go here. He steps through, and I go here. If you watch what my body's doing, even as I'm moving backward, my pressure or my orientation is still forward. So I'm not fighting from back on my heels. I might be shifting, I might be moving in directionally backward, but my emphasis is still forward.